Hello YouTube, Ronan Kazi. Oh my God, just on cue, dogs. Why do some builds stink? Well, it's New Year's Eve. I'm cleaning out my builds and I go ahead and take this old tank build and I load it up and I'm going to test it on this control point, the one I usually go to. So I have some continuity in what I'm testing. So you may come up with a lot of different ideas for builds, and you wonder why some work and don't work. Some of the ideas are good. So this is basically an old school tank build. It's mainly all yellows. I don't have, I think this is a build where I have a backpack, the Ninja backpack. We'll see if I have it. And I got you can see already that I'm having a problem with my armor. I got a drone. And this is breaking a control point. This first part, there's more than 4 mobs. So it's the toughest part of breaking a control point. So if you can't break a control point, yeah, you might finish it. But, I mean, you got a shitty build. And there's Roxy. On cue. I swear to God, they weren't barking. So it looks like I have adrenaline rush, and that's why I'm getting more armor as I get in there. But you can see that without the healing of my shield, it's a slowly losing battle. I have to get headshots then because I'm using Liberty to then get the shield back up. And I have varying degrees of success doing that, and there it goes. And I'm trying to go for cover and scene. So that build is going to get deleted. Next build is a build with, it's a skill build with, you know, maximum protection. So I have a bunch of pieces that are giving me protection against a elite. I have Ridgeway to give me some blood, to give me some bloodletting, which then heals me. And I'm going to try to do it. So it's kind of a skill build, not fast skills. But I should be able to go out and fight against yellows. The problem with this kind of build is if I stay in cover, it's okay. But I have maybe 60 or 70% reduction to elites. And so this makes me think I'm a little bit stout, but in reality, I'm not. Because I have to get near people to put the bleed on them to get my health back. And in theory, it's a good mix. But in reality, you end up being overconfident. I have to throw my skill out. I can't get it where I want to. I'm on fire. I have no one to shoot to heal. Whenever I'm using a healing pack, that's a bad sign. Not part of my normal gameplay. And so this build encompasses 2 or 3 different concepts from other builds. But in this package, it's a shitty package. Too far away to get the bleed. No heals. Guy on top of me. Bad placement of the turret. Drone. So I have some DPS, but this is the problem sometimes. The DPS is all over the place. And I don't have test subject. I have a submachine gun that has the skill damage bonus plus weapon damage bonus. So at this point, I can stay in cover a little bit, but you see I have no way to get my health back. I'm in between. It's an in-between build. It's a shitty build. The ideas are good, and bye-bye. Dead. So back to safe house, third build. This is my build for Legendary, Tidal Basin, and Manning Zoo. Gonna put a pulse on, make sure I have pulse, and I'm gonna go out. Now this has 80% damage reduction, which is similar to the other one. It also has built-in healing, so my pulse isn't as fast. I think I have, in this case I'm using a drone, but usually I use a hive. And when I've used a hive before in those legendaries, I'm unkillable. But will I be unkillable here? So not relying upon something to give me heals back. I have armor, regen built in. And I'm using, for my AoE, I'm using Pulse. I have a Scorpio, and I have Creeping Death, so I'm spreading things over. I go in this corner. Look at my health's great. I also can focus on reds and purples. A yellow I don't really have to worry about. It's not the end of the day. I'm somewhat tanking that guy, and he's down. Purple guy, oh shit. But with the regen and the drone, I'm okay, and I'm gonna pulse him. She hits me, not a problem. Oh, did I mention that it has Unbreakable? The maximum one, the named piece. So I have a named the shotgun pieces. So it's no problem. So there I have healing, self-healing, and I have an Unbreakable, which I get 10% more damage on my shotgun. So this build, again, not dying. And so this is the thing, when you're making a build, there's elements of some of the builds that you like that are working that you take and you say, oh, if I could combine this and this, then I'd have a better build. And that's what's fun about games where you can do different builds, because you can tweak things. There's a person that's a subscriber to the channel, Rich85. He takes a lot of this Vile Jammer build concept and he does a bunch of different stuff to it. I think that the suggestions he has have all been great. And this build, this isn't like a one I've ever really pimped out there to everyone, because you just stay alive. And when you're in a group, I don't know if just surviving is good enough to be in a group. Depends what kind of group you are. If you're in a legendary, it's great that you never go down. But in a heroic or anything less than a heroic, you're not doing enough damage. Yes, I'm pulsing. And you see, oh, that's a yellow hitting me. I go down, Unbreakable fires off, I get out of the way. So I have a convoy coming in also as I'm doing the control point. And on some of those DPS builds in the earlier videos, they would have just got wiped in this. They'd be overwhelmed. You might say, well, the event's on and you're yellow now, but my main DPS in here is going to be my Vile Jammer and shotgun spreading Creeping Death. talk about shaping the battlefield, right? So I'm flipping the battlefield now. I'm going to their spawn point. The enemy leader's already out. No one's going to spawn behind me. So I'm in a good position. Everything has to come to me. And so these are some of the things you're thinking about when you're when you're solo and you're doing this. If you're in a team, you're going to jam the control point, spawn point, and you're going to camp it, rush to it, and you're going to crush them. So now you start thinking about some strategy. I want to see what the status of this supply convoy is. I don't want to kill the boss and then have the supply convoy and the new boss and new set of people coming, because then I'm going to be facing 8 with 3 waves versus 1 last wave. So I slow down a little bit. I know nothing on the field's going to kill me right now. And so that's the other thing a survivable build gives you. It gives you time to map out a strategy. And as I've showed you in a bunch of different videos, you can have less than gear, less than optimal gear. And you can still do control points. You can have purples and still do control points. You need a couple key pieces. So at this point, I leave that guy there, and I'm going to go get the boss, right? I've stabilized that. I don't want to pulse near that other guy, because again, I don't really want to kill him yet. And everyone's brave when they have a Scorpio in their hand. But this build is not going to die from this guy.
Incoming hostiles detected.
So back into the fray. Again, with creeping death and a Scorpio, you're marking anyone that's close when you're hitting them. When you're going against the hyenas and you're anything but a tank, you want to always keep an eye on those chargers. And you can see, I look back, I was like, should I go and cover? No, because I have this build. So you can see I can put that person in the middle of me and one of my comrades. I'm going to go push the spawn, right? Now I'm trying to sort out what's left of the last wave, and you can see the down on that end of the street, there's the supply gear. I'm pushing the spawn point. And I'm trying to stay away from the supply. Normally, I look at Grenadiers first, then the Chargers, but I really don't want to keep having people rezzed, so I'm going to take them out. Again, I don't have empirical proof of what's going on as far as would my normal builds hold up against a yellow. It's just I'm doing the math. It's 80%, so I can take, more shot from them. And back out, pushing the spawn. Now, this isn't my build that has like 77 damage per tick. This is only doing 57 damage per tick. And it's a lot slower, but I got more survivability. And I think I mentioned that when I switched that new build I have. It has survivability. This is with Survivalist. You know, some of the things that you get in Survivalist, you get more damage when you are on status effect. I didn't remember that. Someone had to tell me that. And you get a 10% haste increase when you're in cover. So I normally do that with Technician, but I'm doing that with Survivalist. And that was really, you know, one of the first big specialties you could have. It had all the things. I hate the weapon. I wish they had, you know, I'd rather throw darts than have that dumb crossbow, or a better crossbow. And so as you can see, those other builds, they, you know, one is a tank build that I did in my tank video that fared okay. The other is a build similar to this. It's a Technician build with 5 or 6 pieces of elite damage reduction and with 2 skills for the damage. And you saw I just got wiped almost immediately. And so trying to combine 2 different ideas, and it just, sometimes it doesn't work. There's not synergy. Sorry to use that word, but that's what it is. And kind of showing off now. The boss is using a minigun on me, and you see it's no big deal. It's not to say he doesn't hurt me, because I do get hurt. Oh crap. Now look what happens. Rogues.
Agent detected.
So we're going to ammo up. So how am I going to do against rogues? Well, rogues are both yellows. They're both elite. So you can guess how I'm going to do. Language. So flipping the battlefield again, right? I want to move them to a place where I can reset everything. And so that's the difference between good builds and shitty builds. I didn't plan on rogues being here, but it's easy to take them. Now, if they were red rogues, they'd probably eat me alive, so that's the difference. But they're yellows. And they had wiped out my comrade, so you can see a comrade just came back into the picture. So what I'm doing now is I want to get rid of this turret. And so what you saw is I took them frontal, I got them into the control point. Then they're coming out to get me, and they're going to flip again, where now they're both, you know, so now I got them in a street. And we talked about shaping the battlefield. This is exactly what I'm talking about, is you're moving them to where you want them. He's not going to kill me. And it's going to get even worse for them. So the other thing that you notice, if these guys melee you, they've always had really strong melee. So I'm going to want to flip him again, but I got to worry about that turret he has. So I'm going to flank him so he moves back.
Hostile restore hive detected.
His one skill's gone, and I still got to get his turret.
Assembled by hostile.
Apparently it wasn't gone. Sorry, I lied. That turret's in cover.
Hostile has full golden bullet.
Okay, so he's where I want him. And at this point, I knew I was going to make a video of this, so I was like, yep, melee, nothing. He's going to come in again. Have one last chance at your melee, nothing. And you can hear him, and he's going to go down. Thanks, everyone. Have a happy new year.